Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brother, Sister, Whatever. I am Lisa,
And I'm Josh.
and we're your hosts, providing some real talk with zero chill. So, this is our first episode, kind of trying to figure out what vibe we're going for. But let's just start talking about ourselves
Sounds
and
good.
who we are. So, like I said, my name's Lisa. I'm married, mom of 3, just trying to survive. Lover of coffee and all things black.
Oh, well, say some. What are some of your hobbies?
Oh, okay. Well, one of my favorite hobbies lately is actually diamond painting.
Oh, wow.
I've discovered it through my rabbit hole last summer of trying to figure out new hobbies.
I don't even know what that is. What is that diamond painting?
It's basically paint by number, but with like these little tiny diamonds with like a special pen.
I hear it's good for like anxiety.
It's very good for anxiety. Well, I find anyway, in my opinion.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, so as we said, I'm Josh. I'm married. I have 2 children. I am a dog trainer by profession. So I go to people's homes. I work with all sorts of problematic cases. Been doing that for 20 years now. My gosh, I'm getting old. And I'd say hobbies. Especially the past. I mean, I guess you could say always. I've always been into fitness, but I've never had as much success as I have now. So I guess like I'm feeling extra vibrant when it comes to that hobby right now because I'm actually seeing good things happening. So fitness. If I had to pick one more hobby, I don't know. I guess I would say, gaming. Typical guy.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Typical guy. I play with my kids with PS5, Call of Duty, all of those things. So, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy the occasional gaming with the kids, but I'm more into those, how can we call them, like light and fluffy games? You know, those silly games like Moving Out and I Am Toast.
I don't even know those games.
It's silly. It's silly games, but they're fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are we going to talk about with these folks today? What is something you and I, what's our background actually? Maybe we should get into that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm the older sibling by 6 years. I feel like I lived a whole other life than before you even came into the world.
Okay. I was the mistake. No, I'm kidding. So 6 years later, popped out Josh. And I guess, what did you say once there? That absolutely funny joke? You said, you're the wiser one and I'm the funny one?
Yes.
Is that what you said? I guess there's some truth to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel in many ways, well, when I was younger, for sure. Obviously now it's different. We each have families and kind of, our own things going on. But when I was younger, I definitely felt like your second mom in a way. Mm-hmm. You were always my little shadow.
And you babysat me a lot.
Yeah, I had to take care of you a lot. Make sure you got home from school, all those fun
That's
things.
a perk of being 6 years older.
Yeah.
Right, compared
is
to
it
like
a perk? Is it a perk, really?
Like, for example, like Jet and Fallon, my kids, sorry, those are my kids' names, Jet and Fallon. They're 8 and 6. They're never going to babysit each other.
No.
You can't do that.
No.
Right?
It's a different vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But let's see. It's just the 2 of us in the family, mom and dad.
Yeah, and we're not very close,
No.
which is why we're kind of doing this, trying to get closer. So I'm sure some siblings can relate. I'm sure I know some siblings are like inseparable. They live together in their 40s. And then there's us where we kind of just have our families. And I heard something once which was your partner ends up becoming your immediate family. and your family, like your mom, your sister, your brother, whatever, kind of becomes almost your distant family. You
Yes.
know? And it's kind of true in a way.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Well, we're the kind of siblings that, see each other once in a blue moon, you could
Yeah.
say.
Birthday and Christmases, I
Here
used
and there.
to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthday
Sometimes
and
sometimes
Christmases.
we even skip those.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Yeah, don't feel bad for us, by the way, okay? This is our life, but we're always trying to do better.
Yeah.
And
And I think the first thing that we've both acknowledged is a great first step is to kind of reconnect you and I. Mm-hmm. I think one of the mistakes that, at least on my end, that I've made over the years, and I don't want to say it's a mistake, but maybe, for lack of a better word, I'll leave it at mistake, but is that I try to include everyone in everything. And maybe that was not the right way to go about it, because sometimes stuff happens and my expectations were maybe a little too high, of what I hoped everybody could be to one another. And we each have our own lives and personalities and all that stuff. So I think
that I've definitely adopted much more of a like to be honest with you, I find that I'm very much like mom and dad, and you are not really like mom and dad, like in the sense where I find that I am very content with nothing. I'm very content with just living my life, and
like you didn't need that kind of a connection in your life.
Yeah.
Where, the siblings and the family and the cousins, and we all get together every Sunday for dinners and all that kind of stuff, you hear about families. Like I know, I have friends that have families like that where they, their mother-in-law is their best friend, and they all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Mom and dad just did not have that vibe. We did not grow up with that.
Yeah, and you have to say, we probably have more cousins than the average family.
Yeah.
And we barely see anyone.
I know.
Until there was a death in the family, I didn't even know that I had cousins living right down the street from me. So,
we seem to connect more with family at funerals lately than anything else.
And by the way, just so that you understand, listeners, we live in Montreal, so I'm not talking about this little place and we have a cousin down the street that we didn't know, and there's a population of 500 people. Like, no, like we have more siblings than siblings. More, yeah. We have more relatives than you can imagine. Our family is so huge, but yet we are very distant.
Disconnected, disconnected from them, yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Definitely, mom and dad kind of had this vibe of, don't get me wrong, we saw the occasional cousins and there was a visit here or there, but it was more the exception and not the rule, for sure.
This is why I feel when I got married, or to be honest with you, any relationship I was in, I went all in. Because that was now my immediate family, and that was, I had to work, I had to provide, I had to be that person, like that's, so, when, and that connection that I had with whoever I was with at the time is what I think that comes from, is like seeing my dad, like how hard of a worker he was, how hard of a worker mom was. That kind of made me say, like, okay, we don't have friends, but it's very clear that we do everything for our immediate family, so to speak. So
yeah, for sure. So again, going back to what we were saying, this is kind of our endeavor to reconnect as siblings and friends.
For sure.
Yeah, of course. And kind of have fun with it too,
Yeah.
I don't want every episode to be so deep that people think, oh my gosh.
Was that deep?
No, no, it wasn't. But yeah, we want to have some fun, talk about world events, entertainment, bring a little bit of our own stuff into it as well, and just have some fun with it and have some good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, even just talking about I'm just curious if we're gonna get these listeners who are like kind of in the same boat. You know what I would love? I would love that if we get anything out of this, we hear about a couple of siblings who are maybe apart like we are, and somehow this kind of reignited the urge for them to kind of explore or get together or talk a little bit more, or kind of get back to get back to being kind of a little bit more of the immediate family as opposed to the distant family, so to speak. That would be really cool if we got like some fan mail of of those kinds of comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. So, to wrap it up and to kind of, segue into what's coming for the next episode.
It's got to be something juicy.
Got to be something juicy.
Got to give the fans what they want, right? Our thousands and thousands of listeners.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that. So, we're thinking.
How about
okay, what?
How about we get into, not necessarily like in order because I don't remember what I had for breakfast, but what if we talk a little bit about our upbringing, like little things like I can't trust you anymore.
Oh, if you're going to bring up that one story.
Yeah, I will on our next episode. And that has, scarred me, okay, for life. All right. So now
Give me a break, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So how about we do that? How about we go into a little bit of the detail of our, that like you having to watch, like, oh, you can't go out with your friends, you have to watch me, or all of those little things. We can get into that a little bit and kind of how that, turned to where we are now.
Sure, let's do it.
So I guess what childhood trauma.
Oh, good grief! That could be a very long episode.
Childhood trauma or what? Childhood problems? Having to watch your younger brother?
Oh yeah.
So does that sound good?
That sounds like a plan.
All right. So you know what? How about we're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
So I'm Josh.
I'm Lisa.
And this is...
Brother, sister, whatever.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
See you next week.